Recently, Tom Wheeler, chairman of the FCC, said that they will have new rules, and those rules, by the estimation of all the experts in the field, will kill net neutrality. Now, Tom Wheeler says, no, I don't know what you guys are talking about. No, well, I mean, yes, there will be different tiers that the internet providers can create, and they can charge different prices in those tiers. And if you don't pay their ransom, they can slow your website down to a crawl, in effect, killing your website if either you don't pay them enough money or they just don't like your content. You know, who needs a pesky website telling Comcast or Verizon or Time Warner that they're doing something wrong? Oh, oops, did I slow you down? So that is the effect of killing net neutrality, and that's what Tom Wheeler is set to do. Now, there's a lot of people upset about that, and they've been fighting back against it. Well, now the cavalry's here, and it's a very well-connected cavalry. So, as you see there on that graphic, you've got Netflix, eBay, Google, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, Yahoo, and Twitter all now joining the fight and saying, we want to keep net neutrality. And they're sending a letter to the FCC, and let me read you what the letter says. The Commission's long-standing commitment and actions undertaken to protect the open internet are a central reason why the internet remains an engine of entrepreneurship and economic growth. They also say, according to recent news reports, the Commission intends to propose rules that would enable phone and cable internet service providers to discriminate both technically and financially against internet companies and to impose new tolls on them. If these reports are correct, this represents a grave threat to the internet. So let me pause there. Grave threat to the internet. Now, they took a couple of days to come up with this letter. Now, they had to coordinate things, obviously, and they had to talk amongst themselves, and I'm sure that a lot went into that. But they also had to be taking some time to pause and think, now look, this has got an upside and a downside for all these companies. The downside is, well, then they're going to have to pay that ransom to the internet providers. So these are companies that obviously have huge websites, and Netflix has already struck a deal with Comcast and is now paying more. So all these companies will have to incur more costs. So it makes sense for them to fight against this rule. But it also has an upside for them. And so we're going to have to judge them by their actions, not just by their words or by their letters. So if you think they're 100% on our side, hold. Let's actually see how this plays out. If they're totally on our side, that is great. Because look, activism is enormously important, and we fought against other regulation of the internet that was devastating, and we won those fights, and it was largely due to activism. But it was also because these same internet companies came in with a ton of money to back us up. If you think we would have won on our own, I hope you're right, but my experience says otherwise. It would have been the first and only time that activism had won with no money backing them up. These guys backing us up with millions, tens of millions of dollars in lobbying money spent makes all the difference in the world. Now, the upside of these rules for them is if they go into effect, yes, they would pay more, but they would get to kill off their competition. Could a new company starting up be able to challenge Yahoo and Google and Facebook if they had to pay the same exorbitant rates? It would be much, much harder to challenge them. So for all these companies, it looks like they're doing the right thing, even though killing net neutrality actually has a big upside and downside for them, right? So let's see if they stay on this side, because they could turn back around and go, somewhat monopoly or oligopolies in these fields, not so bad. Maybe that's worth paying a price for, right? But the fact that they have not done that so far is really good news. So let me read you the last part of the letter. This commission should take the necessary steps to ensure that the internet remains an open platform for speech and commerce so that America continues to lead the world in technology markets. If they mean what they said in this letter and they stay on this side of the fight, they can make all the difference. So I hope to report to you guys at a later date that it turns out companies like Google, Facebook, and Microsoft save the internet. That would be awesome. Right now, we just have good news headed in the right direction. Words do matter, and they're on the record now. Well, let's see how much that cavalry arrives to help us win this fight.